up. Let's see, testing 1, 2, 3. It seems like it is. Whoa, why is it blurry? It's showing like a little blurriness right now. Okay. All right. So if anybody can hear me, you can message me at on Google Talk. It's shiz at g.seriant.net. If you want to actually become a part of this discussion, I'm willing to invite anybody who has anything to say about what Microsoft is going to do this year. It seems like it's going to be a very big year for Microsoft. I mean, huge. And the reason why I say that is because it's we have Microsoft Surface, which is probably the biggest announcement of them all when it comes to what they're trying to do this year. Let me go ahead and close out a few windows so I can open up some resources real quick. I do apologize, for some reason I had a bit of issue getting this started. So that's what happens when you do live. Nothing ever goes right, you know. Let's see. Just bear with me for a couple minutes here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And I'm really not. Don't know why it's so blurry. It's like out of focus or something. All right, got my Earl Grey hot. Mm. Okay, and for those of you who are unable to see this, we're going to rebroadcast this on YouTube. YouTube's going to do it automatically. As soon as I end the broadcast, YouTube is going to automatically uh, record it and render it and make it available on YouTube on my channel. And so that's automatic. Wow, the quality is not that great. Little disappointed in the quality of the video. I do apologize for that. I tested this. I did some tests earlier, and everything was working flawlessly. Now all of a sudden, my video is really blurry and pixely. And the only thing I can come, only thing I get from that is that my connection is a little bit slow right now, or something is going on where the picture quality is not transferring over to Google as clean as it should be. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And let me pull up my agenda real quick. I forgot to pull that up. So it says I got one viewer, and so I'm not exactly sure who's actually watching. But again, if you have Google Talk, just hit me up at shiz at g.seriant, and that's SEREANT.net. If you hit me up there, then I'll be able to invite you into the conference with your Google ID, and you'll be able to join the discussion with me. And I definitely invite anybody who wants to talk about all the things that are happening with Microsoft. That's great. Now, I need an agenda because I tend to ramble a lot. I tend to go off on a whole lot of stuff there. So my agenda is available at shiz.us slash 2012 0922. And that's where you can get the agenda, and that's the same place where you can also view the actual broadcast. And then after the broadcast, you can go to the same place and view a rebroadcast of this whole thing. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me just post a link here and post a link on the YouTube page as well. Okay, I'm making sure that all the social networking sites have this information. Live on Google Hangout. And let's see. All right, it's 8:07. I'm kind of running 10 minutes late right now. Okay, get my agenda up here. Okay, let me just. When you're a one-man operation, you have to kind of pay attention to a lot of different things at the same time, and so that's the hardest thing. I used to work for several different television studios. I worked for ABC. I worked at Hollywood Digital. I did a little bit of work with Fox. And there's dozens of people, and everybody's doing their own thing, and you have a specific job to do. And that is done that way because it has to come out on time, has to look flawless. You know, everything has to look flawless. When you're doing everything yourself, it you run into problems technically, and you have to do everything yourself, and it takes it away from actually trying to do the content. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for watching this video. It says I have one viewer, and I think that's probably because I'm that one viewer at this time, but there could be another person that I'm not really sure. If you go to shiz.us slash 2012-0922, I got two monitors here. If you go to that website, it will give you information on how to become a guest in this particular broadcast. This broadcast may last 60 minutes or even 90 minutes. We're going to see how things flow. Um, but on my agenda, we're going to talk about. I'm going to introduce myself and talk about uh, why I am so much into Microsoft more than the more popular Google, Android, or Apple products that are out today. Where is Microsoft going? Talk about my opinions, and it's only my opinion about what Microsoft is, where Microsoft is going. We're also going to discuss the Windows Phone 8 early this year. Actually, just about at the beginning of summer, Microsoft has made several announcements about the Windows Phone 8 OS, and then just last month, Nokia made a big announcement about their Lumia 920 and Lumia 820. And then this month, like last week actually, or earlier this week, HTC announced the Windows 8X and the Windows 8S. Really good phones. We also have another phone out there, the Samsung Ativ S. Gotta love Earl Grey, and I'm sorry for the slurp. Um, the Xbox, there's not a whole lot of information about the next Xbox. Is it going to be Xbox 360 Plus? Is it going to be Xbox 720? That information is not fully available at this time. Microsoft is keeping it hidden. In fact, they probably don't have a real name for it. They probably had code names like Xbox 720. But you got to keep in mind that when a lot of companies are in development, they have code names, and that's what it gets leaked into different social media. So what the actual name of the product will be, they probably don't know yet either. But we're going to talk a little bit about that because you got the smart glass technology and how it's going to integrate your Windows computer, your laptop, your mobile phone, as well as a big screen TV and PixelSense. If you happen to have PixelSense for your business, that's a really great tool to have for presentations and stuff. We also got the Windows Server 2012. Talk a little bit about that. Microsoft Online Services, talk about stuff like CRM, Office 365, Windows Azure, and we can also talk about Windows Intune, Windows ERB. There's a lot of different online services that Microsoft is offering. And what I noticed a lot is that when it comes to Office 365, I used to follow on my Android phone. I have an Office 365 thread in my news and weather app, and before I was able to get really good information on the business end of Office 365. But ever since they announced Office 365 for average users, a lot of people are posting news about the subscription-based Microsoft Office 2013, which, okay, it's great, but I still want to talk about the business end. So we talk a little bit about that. Windows 8, of course, the new operating system, which is the Metro or Modern UI, Windows 8 UI, whatever Microsoft wants to call it. I think they should stick with one name. You know, if they're going to call it Modern UI, they should make that known because Windows 8 UI doesn't really fit the profile or the look of the but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Microsoft Surface is probably the biggest, the largest news of them all. And the reason why, because Microsoft has never made their own computer. They never got into developing. They always made software for other people to support as far as hardware is concerned. Microsoft has never made a smartphone. Microsoft has never made a computer, a tablet, or a laptop. All of a sudden, Microsoft decided we're going to make a tablet, a phablet, a slate, whatever you want to call it, and they're going to be competing with their OEMs, their partners. That's pretty scary, isn't it? Metro, is it the future? I definitely have a lot to say about that. Competitors, do they have to worry? Now, I'm not talking about the OEM competitors. I'm talking about Google and Apple. So those are the competitors I'm talking about, and then we're going to conclude. Hopefully we can wrap this up within 60 minutes, but the time may go a little longer than that and up into maybe the 90-minute range and stuff like that. Introduction. If I had more people, I would like to introduce everybody, but this is my official first Google Hangout. And so as time goes on, I will get to learn, get to know more people, and we can invite more people into this forum. And I'll just have discussions about technology, about Microsoft or Google or Apple and stuff like that. But my introduction is that my name is Antonio Edward, and I decided to start a website called SHIZ.us. Just before I got laid off at Hart Hanks, I used to work at Hart Hanks. Just before I got laid off, they made a big announcement and they told us about it. I really thought, I was like, my life, you know, I'm not, I don't know how I'm going to be able to find another job so quickly and stuff like that. I started the SHIZ vlogs shortly before I got laid off. You guys, I didn't really talk much about it before I got laid off, but I talked a lot about it after I got laid off. SHIZ to me is a way. It's like using the law of attraction to the hilt, where it's talking about things that are fun, exciting, geeky, you know, and it's going to evolve over time, and that's what I want to do with it. And I also like to involve you as well. If you have any videos you'd like to share, any exciting videos, you can always send them to me, and I'll be more than happy to add it to my vlogs. Just recently, I decided to do weekly vlogs because it takes up too much of my time to try to get a video out every single day, and I haven't been successful working on these videos every single day. So it's going to go to weekly, and the vlog is just covering the daily stuff that happens in my life, as well as talking about things that are geeky. As everybody knows, I'm a big fan of anything Microsoft. I love Google and I love Apple too, but I'm a bigger fan of Microsoft, and that's just who I am. I don't hate Apple. I do not hate Google at all. I think Google has a lot to offer. In fact, I'm using a Google service now called Google Hangout. I could have used a link if I wanted to, but I decided not to. Google Hangout is a great service, and I like it a lot, and I'm trying it out officially for the first time. Um, but I've worked in the TV industry in the 1990s for several years. Like I said, I worked for ABC, the City of Long Beach, Hollywood Digital. I did a little bit of work for Fox, Disneyland, and Disney Corporation itself. Of course, ABC is owned by Disney. So I did a lot of video work, editing, camera work for some of those venues. And that's how I was in the entertainment industry. In 2000, November or September of 2000, I met my wife, Serenity. And it was shortly after that that I decided to join the military because, excuse me, I was 29 years old. And at 29 years old, I've always wanted to join the military when I was younger. I said I always wanted to do it, even if it's just 4 years. I just wanted to be in that lifestyle just for a few years, to sign up for the contract and just do it. I never got around to doing it. I told my new wife or girlfriend at the time, I said, hey, I always wanted to join the military. What do you think about that? And she supported it. She herself also served in Desert Storm back in the 90s when the first Bush was president. And, excuse me. And so I talked to her, and she supported the idea. So I joined the military. I joined the Army, and I served 15 months in Iraq, and did some time in Germany, did some time at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and Fort Hood, Texas. And so after the Army, I got into IT. I tried to get back into the television industry, but that didn't work out so well because when I joined the Army, I burned a lot of bridges. So I had to uh, get into something that I know about best, and that's computers. And I decided to get in IT, and that's when I got my master's in information technology. So that's basically my whole entire life there. Right now, I work at Whole Foods as a Active Directory administrator. It's a fun job. It's a great job. It pays a little, pays a good decent amount. So I'm not complaining. So that's my introduction. And as I said, if I had somebody else in there, I would ask them to talk too. Where is Microsoft going? A lot of different stuff is happening this year with Microsoft. And it's really hard. Excuse me, sorry. Just got over a cold and I still have some of the remnants of it, so I do apologize. Where's Microsoft going? There's a lot of stuff happening with Microsoft right now. A lot. And the it's really hard to even pick where to start with it because Microsoft has made several announcements about several different things at different conferences throughout the world. And I'm having a hard time following it all because you can only join so much Facebook pages, Twitter pages, follow so many blogs. In fact, Microsoft has so many different blogs that I'm trying to get through them all, and I'm not able to do it. But where's Microsoft going? I think they're rebranding the whole entire company. In fact, I think a lot of people say Steve Ballmer is not doing a good job. I totally disagree. I think that the original founders, they did a great job building this company along with the people that were under them. But I think Steve Ballmer is trying to take it to a new level. He's trying to push it to that next level. Movies like Avatar and Minority Report are great movies that showcase this technology that Microsoft is trying to push right now. PixelSense is probably the closest to what you see in Avatar, where they're working on displays and it's augmented reality, and they're basically gesturing in front of the screen to move things around, and it's all touch screen. And so a lot of people are complaining that Windows 8 is a touch OS only. I entirely disagree. It's workable with a mouse too. But here's what you got to remember: is that how a mouse came into the scene. Remember the mouse was kind of bulky. It had two big buttons on it, and it was very ugly looking. In fact, even the Canadians didn't allow it because they thought it was an actual mouse. Okay, but as you got to use it, you learn how to use it. You figured it out, and you were able to move the mouse around very easily. I mean, you're able to like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. Ah, I understand now. And and then you learn. And so eventually, what's going to happen is with Windows 8, if you still have a mouse and a keyboard, and I got a keyboard myself, you're going to eventually learn how to move stuff around and how to get about, and it's good. It's just going to come to you. Now, here's something else that's going to happen. Just like how we got rid of CRT monitors, I don't even own one anymore. I used to have up until 2 years ago. I still had a 17-inch tube TV by Panasonic. Still had it. And I used it in the bedroom. I had a widescreen in the living room, but we still had a tube TV in the bedroom. And there's a lot of families that do that. They buy a big screen TV, but they somehow keep that old technology laying around. So with that old technology, it's hard to find. You're not going to be able to find that type of TV anymore. And so this is where you got to look at. In the next year or so, Microsoft, I believe, is going to force these manufacturers of monitors and other devices to come out with touchscreen compatible monitors. So every computer you buy starting next year, I mean, it may not happen this year, but I really do believe it's going to be next year. Even, excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Your desktop monitor is going to have some type of desktop touchscreen capability. So instead of using your mouse and keyboard, you're just going to be working with your monitor. There's still going to be a keyboard because sometimes a keyboard is just a lot better than working with touchscreen keyboards, okay? Because you can type faster. I mean, you're talking about like my mother, she can type 5,000 words a minute, okay? And so sometimes you still need that control. And so this is where Microsoft's going, is that all the future products and all the manufacturers that are making these products are going to be forced to come out with touchscreen compatible monitors for laptops, for computers, desktops, and standalone monitors. It's all going to be touchscreen. Now, your home television, is it going to be touchscreen? I don't think so. Those things are very expensive. In fact, at the at the Office 2013 presentation, Microsoft was showcasing that really big screen monitor, that 55-inch monitor that had touchscreen compatibility, which is running Windows 8. So I'm thinking, what's going to happen with their PixelSense? What you're looking at is that the future monitors are not going to be touchscreen, or at least not all of them. If you're filthy rich, you can afford one, but I think it's just going to be regular TV sets, just regular widescreen TVs. But what's going to make it more interactive is Connect. Connect is compatible with Windows 8, and it's also compatible with Xbox. So if you have an Xbox, you're able to connect your Connect and able to control the elements on your screen. But keep this in mind, it's just not limited to entertainment and home usage. You can also use it for business. So if you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, I'm imagining that you're going to be able to swipe your pages away. Next slide. Or you can tell Xbox, next slide. So-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Xbox, next slide. Or you can just do this, and it will automatically, just do a little wipe like this. Xbox will automatically recognize it, and it's going to take you to that next slide. That's what I'm seeing. A lot of developers are coming up with some really genius apps that are going to work with Xbox, Windows 8, Windows Phone 8. And the fact that Windows Phone 8 has the core of Windows 8, you're going to be able to design applications for both devices without working too hard. Basically, you design one application, and then all you have to do is just work on the real estate for Windows Phone 8. So you just have to redesign the GUI just a little bit, but the core, the application core, is still the same. So that's where I think Microsoft's going, is that they're trying to integrate all these devices so that you don't have to do it. When you design for a Mac, you have to design for a Macintosh computer, for OS X. If you want to have that same app or the likeness of that app on an iPhone, you have to create a completely different application, which is an Android app. And then if you want to do something for Chrome OS, you're going to have to create a different app for Chrome OS. Now, here's Microsoft's ideology. You create one application for Windows 8. You export it over to, you just transfer the core, redesign the graphics just a little bit because you got smaller real estate, you don't have as big a screen to work with, and you compress everything, and voila, you got your Windows Phone 8 app. The same thing for your Xbox. You just boom, and your Xbox app is now working on Xbox. So whether it's a business app, entertainment app, a game, and the games can run on a Windows Phone using DirectX, that is amazing. That is, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I imagine all the games like DirectX. I can play these games on my phone. I cannot wait to get rid of this phone. Oh, just a little side note real quick. This is the phone I use to do my vlogs. I don't have a camera. I don't have a point and shoot. I use this phone right here. So as you see, it's an Android. I'm going to start recording right now. And right now I'm recording myself doing this Google Hangout. Hey, what's up? And as you can see, I'm recording that right now. And this is the web page that the Hangout's on, and that's my agenda. And this is for you guys out there. I'm doing a Google Hangout right now, and I'm doing this live, so what up? In fact, you can see me on the screen right there. Just a little side note. Okay, stop the video. I'm going to put that in my next vlog. Now, so this is where I'm seeing, this is how I see where Microsoft's going with it. They're going to try to integrate all these technologies into one core base so that you don't have to worry about transferring from one to the other. And just like what Nintendo Wii is doing, and there's another system out there that's trying to do the same thing, you can take your phone and basically set up your plays. Okay, you're playing a football game on your Xbox. You can literally, on your tablet or phone, set up your plays, and your screen will just be the gameplay. You don't have any other graphics. It's just the gameplay. Your computer, your tablet, has all your gameplay information on it. Okay, I want the defense to go here, there, and there. You become the coach. You become the quarterback. And then hit, play. Automatically, your plays are generated on the screen. So that's where I see it going. Okay, what's next on my agenda? I think it's Windows Phone 8. So Windows Phone 8, Microsoft has made several announcements about it. They had a really big announcement about the Windows 8 OS, Windows Phone 8 OS back in June. And it was really exciting. It was a 2-hour broadcast, and it talked about how that integration between Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8 is going to work so seamlessly. And they talked about DirectX. They talked about all the new features like Wallet. They talked about the next Office that's going to be implied with it. And there's the People Hub. I mean, there's so many different advantages. The extra tiles. I mean, you can totally customize your tiles and make it what you want. Can I do this with this phone? Yes, I can. I can customize my phone any way I like. You can totally customize an Android. Can you customize an iPhone without breaking it? No. Can you customize a Windows phone without breaking it? No. But it allows you to reconstruct your tiles a lot differently so that your phone is different from your wife's, from your friends, husbands, if you're, and stuff like that. So Windows Phone, the HTC. Well, let's talk about Lumia first, though. Samsung was actually the first one to announce their phone. They were the first, and that's the Samsung Ativ S. And the Ativ is a great phone. It's small. I mean, it looks really small. It's a great device. But the Lumia is supposed to be the flagship of Windows Phone 8, and the flagship meaning like the Enterprise of Star Trek is always the flagship of all their ships. The Lumia 920 is a flagship. It's the phone that you want to buy. If you're a manufacturer, you want to buy this phone, study it, and try to make a phone like it or better. The HTC I think is real nice because it's a lot thinner. It seems to be a lot thinner than the Nokia Lumia. It has fancy colors, and they seem like they're trying to move into that market of fancy colors, even without a case. You don't need a case if you just want to have some color in your life. I still recommend a case though, and plastic. I don't care what type of glass is on your screen. I still recommend some type of scratch-proof plastic. Um, this phone has scratches everywhere, but what's the reason why it's all scratched up? Because I got that plastic there protecting it. If I peel this off, it'll be smooth like butter. Okay, it'll be smooth like a baby's behind. So trust me, I still recommend protecting your phone as best as possible and getting the best case you can get for your phone. I don't care what type of materials it's made of. I don't care if you get the iPhone, Android, Lumia, HTC, Windows 8X, get a case. Windows Phone 8, I think it's going to bring together a lot of different applications that you had on your Windows computer. So what app developers have to do is forget about the fact that there aren't any uh, users of these applications. They have to remember that. I kind of lost my thought there for a second. It happens, right? Live program. What app developers have to remember is that when you design your application, design it in Metro. And that's the only way, that's my phone. That's the only way you can make it work so that it will work for Windows Phone as well. And a lot of businesses, they're worried about the fact that their proprietary software won't work on Windows 8, and they have to design a whole new application to work on Windows 8, and that's true. You can still use desktop version of Windows 8, which is you can run any Windows 7 application in the desktop mode. You still want to test it out though before you go about doing it. But on Windows 8, you definitely want to make sure that you test everything first before you deploy it in your company, because you definitely don't want any problems. Because working in tech support, there's always problems with deployments, and so you definitely want to test everything out, make sure everything's working flawlessly before you run it. Um, let's talk about the next Xbox. The next Xbox is a lot of rumors about it. There are a lot of rumors. I don't have any inside information. The only people who have inside information are the people that work at Microsoft, and it's not everybody that works at Microsoft either. If you have to work in that department and be the upper leader in the upper leadership in order to really know what's going on with Xbox. So Xbox 360 plus, is it going to be Xbox 720? We don't know. But the Xbox integrating smart glass is definitely a smart idea. Okay, smart glass is not the Google Glass technology. Smart glass allows you to integrate your Windows Phone, Windows computer, your tablet, and Xbox, and make it all work together as one device. It will become one device once you get it all tied together. And all you need is a Windows Live ID. That's it. You sign in with your Windows Live ID on your Xbox, on your Windows computer, on your Windows Phone, voila, everything just seems to work together. So, is there any rumors? It's hard to say. I love to hear rumors, but is it actually going to be true? That's not. That's to be determined when the device comes out. When you can actually go to the store and buy it or order online. Windows Server and Windows Server 2012 is just now been released, and it's definitely an upgrade to the Windows 2008. Windows Server 2012 is going to be that Metro style as well. It also has a desktop version, so if you're running proprietary software or pre-Windows 8 software, you definitely can run that on Windows Server 2012. But it's what it seems like where Microsoft's going with that is that Windows Server 2008 is going the PowerShell route, and so PowerShell is definitely the backbone of a lot of different Windows Server applications that are out there today, like Microsoft Link, Microsoft Exchange, Microsoft SharePoint, and stuff like that. And so it will be up to third-party developers to create applications that can filter these PowerShell commands automatically. So Windows Server 2012, do you have to upgrade? Not just yet, but Microsoft will stop supporting older versions of Windows Server pretty soon here. So if you have Windows Server 2000 or something like that, or Windows NT, you definitely want to upgrade very soon because it's not going to be supported. Microsoft is going to be like, screw it all, we're not going to support this old stuff anymore. Windows XP, we're not going to support it anymore. We got to move forward. Okay? And that's my whole thing is we got to move forward. And that also ties into Microsoft Online services. Services like CRM, Office 365, Windows Azure. These are all cloud-hosted services that offers business productivity software to what's going to be in Office 2013 to an average user. So if I'm by myself, just me, I can pay whatever the cost is going to be per month and have the latest version of Office 2013 on my computer as long as I pay every single month. If I don't pay, I still have Office 2013, but it would be view only. I won't be able to edit anything. It'd be like a trial version of Office. But then I pay for it, voila, it's reactivated, and I can use Microsoft Office full version again. And so I think that's a great idea because a lot of people cannot afford Microsoft Office. It's like, what, $200 for the cheapest package? That's for the student edition, okay? So allowing this subscription service, I think, will make more money for Microsoft, but also the fact that it will give the ability to provide an inexpensive version of Microsoft Office 2013. But what Office 365 does as well is that licensing for Microsoft Link, SharePoint, and Exchange is a lot. And you need to maintain the servers, you need to buy your own server, maintain the machines yourself. What Office 365 does is allows you to have all this hosted by Microsoft. You don't have to worry about maintaining it so much. I still recommend that you hire an IT person, at least one. If you have a company of like 5,000 people, 2 or 3. Hire at least 2 or 3 an IT person, because you're going to need somebody who knows a little bit about computers, okay? Who knows something about Exchange, who knows something about Link, who knows something about SharePoint. So you definitely want to make sure that you have somebody there. Windows Azure, you're able to run websites on it, run your proprietary software in the cloud so that you don't have to worry about, maintaining your own servers. So if you have proprietary software that, like a database of some sort, and instead of maintaining this server, throw it in the cloud. Let Microsoft take care of it, and all you have to worry about is make sure that your internet connection works, okay? Again, hire an IT person. Windows Azure has been adding a lot of different functionalities to it, and it's very inexpensive for businesses to host a lot of their software online now. And so you don't have to worry about anything. So what is an office today? An office doesn't have any computers around at all. You can get with Jaja Voice. Jaja Voice is the PSTN provider for Microsoft Link. What does that mean? You can hook up your regular telephone. You can get regular telephone numbers for everybody in your company with your Microsoft Link, and everybody through Link and through the computer without having a PBX server or any type of server at all. You can run your telephones through Link. All you need is a headset, a microphone, and either a USB plug or mic and a earphone jack. And I could be talking on the phone right now. And when I get a call, it will tell me. It will go straight to voicemail if I get a voicemail. You can use Exchange to set up your voicemail and your unified messaging services. And so this is where Microsoft's going. Instead of having to build an entire infrastructure, PBX servers for phones, setting up your Microsoft Link, a database to run your company, let Microsoft do it. And everything is hosted by Microsoft. And all you have to worry about is, do we have enough bandwidth in this building to support this? You'll have to talk with your local provider about that part. So this is where Microsoft Online Services is going. And I would have loved to have gotten into this a little bit more deeper if I had a guest on to talk about this more. But if you want to learn more about Office 365, just go to office365.com, or just go to windows.com for Windows Azure, and CRM, just go to crm.dynamics.com, and there you can get more information. I'm going to start wrapping this up just really quickly, but I will talk about Windows 8 really quick. I think I did cover that a little bit when I talked about Windows Phone 8, and that Windows 8 is definitely the future. I believe that in the next year or two, we're going to see gesture control monitors. Large monitors are going to be gesture control for, like, entertainment and TV, and also presentations. And then desktop monitors will be touch. So I think we're going to be doing touch screen from this point on. And I think, I'm going to make a big prediction here, in that all TVs will be touch screen or gesture control starting next year. Using either Xbox Connect. It's going to either be built into the monitor, or you're actually going to be able to touch it. And so that's something that's going to come like next year. Microsoft Surface, the biggest thing. When they announced that, well, there was a huge rumor, okay, and I don't think it was true. In fact, I even said it from the get-go, this is not true. If it is, I'll be the first one to buy it. But if Microsoft Surface sold for $200, wow. But Steve Ballmer kind of killed that rumor during an interview with several different tech magazines and tech websites, saying that it's going to start at $300. So that $200 you've been saving up, yeah, you may need to save a little bit more. So is this going to hurt OEMs? No, because if the Microsoft Surface sells for the same price as their OEMs, then they're only going to be in competition with them. Microsoft, I think, will be very dumb for Microsoft to sell Microsoft Surface for $200, because the OEMs can't do that. They have to make profit because they don't have other venues to work with. Microsoft has the Windows Marketplace they can make money off of. They make a little bit of money off of the Windows 8 OS. So the OEMs, they have to make money. I mean, they have to, in order to stay in business. They have to make profit. And a good profit is 300% of what it costs to make. That is what good profit is. Okay? 200% if you have to, but really and truly, it has to be at least 300%. So that's why Microsoft Surface cannot sell for $200. It just cannot, because they will kill the competition. Metro, is it the future? Yes. And I even think that Apple is going to have to come up with some sort of Metro-like system. And I say Metro still because it's very hard for me to get off of Metro. So Modern UI, Windows 8 UI. I don't think Apple's going to copy Microsoft directly. No, they're going to come up with their own version. But they're going to have to come up with some kind of touch-compatible system in order to compete with Microsoft. Because if they don't, they're going to be left behind. And my predictions are that Windows 8 is going to take off next year. Not this year, but next year. Competitors, do they have to worry? Yes, most definitely. Android phones are made for geeks. A person who has no problem with trying to figure out their phone, and it's like, okay, why is it not doing this? And they're like troubleshooting, and it's like, oh, okay, how can I get this thing to work? That's a geek. But you think an average user wants to do all that? No. They want a phone that just works. And that's why Apple iPhone has worked. That's why BlackBerry, in its heyday, worked, because you did not have to figure it out. It didn't take a whole lot to try to figure out how to work that damn thing. Okay? Sorry, I'm just repositioning the monitor right now. And so Windows Phone 8, it's very easy to use. It just works. The Android doesn't just work. Sorry, it doesn't just work. So this is why BlackBerry and Apple has done so well in the past. In fact, Apple is still doing well. In fact, people at my job are on the Apple website buying Apple 5s right now. A lot of geeks online are buying Apple iPhone 5s because they're excited about this new technology. Are they happy with the new product? It's a new product. That's it. It's brand new, and it's newer than the iPhone 4S. Are people that excited? No, it's not really much of an improvement from iPhone 4S, if you ask me. The iPhone 4S doesn't really take it to that next level. Only thing it did was they improved Siri. They added Apple apps, Apple Maps, excuse me. They added some more features to the iCloud, which is great. In fact, I think the iCloud feature is going to compete with what Google Drive and SkyDrive has today, but it's only going to be for Apple users. So you have to have a Macintosh or Apple to have iCloud. But Apple, yeah, it didn't really impress me that much. I'm sorry, it just wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta have an iPhone. Ooh, it was just like, oh, the next version of iPhone. Okay, they could have called it Apple 4X, as far as I'm concerned, and it wouldn't have meant no difference. It should have been iPhone 4X because it wasn't iPhone 5. But will iPhone 6 be the next kicker? I'm going to tell you something. I think iPhone 6 is going to blow people's mind. iPhone 5 was just something they threw out there. It's like, okay, we gotta release something, folks. We gotta put something out there. We're not ready for iPhone 6 yet, so we gotta put something out there. And that was iPhone 5. Okay? The iPhone 6 is going to blow people's minds. I'm guaranteeing it. I'm going to want to have one. And I'm not an iOS user. But yeah, competitors do have to worry. Apple, you got to get with it. When you come up with the iPhone 5S or 5X or whatever you want to call it, or the iPhone 6, you're going to have to come up with something better. Sorry, Apple. It's what you just released wasn't that great. 16:9 screen is probably in Siri is probably the only two things that's awesome on that phone. Believe it or not, people are still using Google Maps on the iPhone. People are installing Google apps, Google Maps, on the iPhone. So that the Apple Maps, you still got a little bit of work to do on it. It's awesome. I love this technology. Apple, great job, but you still got a little bit more to work with that. All right. So in conclusion, as you can see, I didn't have any guests, so I just want to conclude by saying thank you for watching this video. And even though there are any viewers now, if there are any future viewers, because it's going to be rebroadcast on YouTube, I definitely want to thank you for watching. And I'm going to be doing this again. And maybe by that time I'll have more people invited to come in and we can have a full-fledged panel discussion about whatever it is that we're talking about. So My name is Antonio Edward. Go to shiz.us and sign up to become a member of the site. Definitely welcome you to do that. Have a great night. Like this video. Peace out.